Hello, everybody. Nice to see you here. Welcome to today's session. Lovely to see you. Thank you for joining. I'm very excited to share some hopefully useful information with you. It's all about how to practice speaking. I want to give you some ideas, some exercises, some practice. We'll actually do some practice together today, which will be strange but interesting. And in addition, hopefully just an inspiration for you to start practicing together. Before we do that, let's start with a little bit of this.
Step right in, this live session's calling. We've got resources and ideas for you. Find inspiration while we're learning. Keep Speaking Academy's here to see you through. It's time to learn.
Great.
It's time to grow. Join the journey, let your English flow. It's time to learn. It's time to grow. Join the journey, let your English flow.
Time to let your English flow. Oh, sorry, I thought that was hilarious. I thought that was great. A nice bit of country music to get you in the mood. Lovely. Nice to see you. Let's see who is here in the house. Mojde, lovely to see you here again. Lovely. Great to see you. Rara, nice to see you as well. We've got UPSC. Hello there. Slobodanka, great music. Interesting, right? Lovely music. Ricky, all the way from Chile. Lovely to see you here. Maria from Peru. Lovely. Great to see you here as well. Damesh, lovely to see you. Nice. Sauswam, interested? What are you interested in, I wonder? Hooray, Christine. Nice to see you here as well. Nadia, hi. Elbio, lovely to see you here. One of our newer students on the course. Great to see you all. Abraham Malik, nice to see you as well. We've got people from all over the place, all over the world, I think. Brian the Brick is here as well. Lovely to see you. So, guys, as I mentioned, we're going to be looking today at how to practice speaking and different activities. This is a bit different from my usual live lessons, right? And the reason is I want to make it shorter. The live lessons were, 2 hours long and lots of teaching vocabulary and stuff. Great. This is more about skills. This is more about learning different skills that can help you in your journey to fluency or acing the IELTS speaking test if you're doing IELTS. So this session will be about an hour long, more or less. What I'll do is I'll just show you what we're going to cover, what we're going to do. Okay, so it'll be about an hour. The focus is how to practice speaking English. I'll give you some tips, ideas, suggestions as well here. There are three things. I just want to introduce you to the Keith Speaking Academy website in case you don't know it, but to let you know what's on there and how it can help you. I'll go through this topic today of how to practice speaking. And then if there are any questions, I'll try and answer at the end. If you do have any questions about anything, we can look at that at the end as well. Okay, so that's the plan. Sound okay? I hope so. The Keith Speaking Academy website. Okay, if you don't know, some of you may know it, some of you may not. The address is keithspeakingacademy.com. By the way, .com. By the way, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram a little bit as well if you want to look for Keith Speaking Academy there. But the website is the main thing I wanted to show you today. So let me just show you here. Not here, I'll show you here. If you go to Keith Speaking Academy, you can find stuff about the speaking test, about the format, about different parts of the test, IELTS topics if you want to discover. It tells you about how the test works. There's a whole list of topics, and each topic will take you to a lesson. I hear that science is very popular again. So you can come here, you can download the lesson, you can watch the video, you can get all the information from that lesson here. Okay. So there's lots of stuff about IELTS, also how it's evaluated. In addition, there are lots of free live lessons. Now, you may remember last year, in fact, for the last 3 years, I've done live lessons every month. Again, you can download them. That's the one we did on environment. But down here, there's also lots of extra live lessons. On the topic of work, there are lots of them. Ambition, complaints, study, fitness, environment, family and friends. There's lots here. Family, relationships. You can click on, again, you can click on any one and you'll find a full lesson with the PDF you can get. You can watch. You can get all the information here as well. If you like the free lessons, you may want to be interested in joining the Vocabulary Vault. This is short vocabulary lessons based on my best live lessons. If you are interested, just click on this link. This is on the free live lesson page, and it'll tell you more about that and more information if you're interested in finding out about that particular course. The other thing I do have are lots of tips. So if you're looking for information about, let's say, for example, Part 2 cue card topics, how to become fluent in English, how to improve your listening skills, there are lots of tips in this kind of blog area. Finally, there's the online courses. The main course now is the Gold online course, which is split into 3. We've got the exam strategy course, the self-study course, obviously self-study, and the interactive, which is more interacting with other students. You can find out about the prices here. They're all discounted at the moment. And if you want all 3, you can get the full course here as well. So that's all on the website. If you go back to the Keith Speaking Academy, you can find out all about it there. So that's it. That's the Keith Speaking Academy. May be able to help you. Lots of free resources. If you want to go deeper, there's obviously courses as well that you may be interested in. So I'm going to come down. What am I going to do? I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Before I show you that, I'm just going to show you. No, we'll do that later. Let's do that later. Yes, we'll do that later. Let me see how everyone's doing. We've got Bayat Gatbel from Ethiopia. Lovely to see you. I see a few people have their IELTS exam tomorrow. Noria, good luck. I'm sure it will go absolutely smoothly, swimmingly smooth. I hope so. Okay, excellent. Good. I'm a new guest from Sudan. Idris Iman, welcome. Very, very, very nice to see you here. And Ali from Bangladesh as well. Excellent. Good. Anna says, I can easily understand you, Keith, but when it comes to speaking, I feel terrible sometimes. Speaking is the most difficult part. I think a lot of people will appreciate that. And we're going to look at that, how you can do more speaking practice. So let's dive in. Let's begin straight away with this. I've got some questions for you. First of all, how do you practice speaking English? 1 alone, 2 with a classmate or a friend, 3 with a teacher, or 4 a mix of the above. Just write in the chat which number is true for you. Okay. And what I'm going to do is do this. Okay. So if you just type in the chat, which one, number 1, 2, 3, or 4, which one do you do? I'm going to do this also as a poll. And as you start writing in the chat, the results will come up here. But let's have a look in the chat at what people are saying, okay? Quite a lot of people say alone. Saeed says alone. We've got Marjo says alone as well. Stefan alone and with a teacher. Interesting. Kadzi with a classmate. Slobodanka says most of the time alone. Aitan alone. Another one here alone. And I can see, look at that, 73% are saying alone. With a classmate, just 8%. With a teacher, quite a few. Let's see who's doing with a teacher. Anna says with a teacher. Interesting. Okay, good. Christina says a mixture of the above. Sorsen is with a teacher as well. Okay. And Arita says alone. Quite a few of you say a mixture, right? A mixture of the above, number 4. Edenbold says 3, which is with a teacher. Kuso 1, okay. Maria says alone. Okay, interesting. Lots of different answers there. They're all coming up. It seems alone is definitely the biggest one. Some of you have got a mix of the above, right? As Anna says, it's difficult to practice English alone. Well, yes and no. It depends, right? I kind of agree, but also there are lots of things you can practice alone, which are better practicing alone. And I think this is key. It's not practicing with people is better than practicing alone. It depends what you're practicing. Some activities are better on your own. Some activities are better with people. Very simply, to practice your accuracy, getting the right grammar, is probably better on your own because you can make mistakes, you can record yourself, you can hear, you can take your time, there's no pressure. So being accurate is probably better on your own. To improve fluency, it's better with other people. Because on your own, yes, you will improve fluency, but when you're interacting with other people, you have to listen, you have to understand, you have to reply, and that is going to help build up communication skills and fluency. Sometimes you may not worry about mistakes, you just speak and practice speaking. So I think there are some things are better on your own and some things are better with other people. So if you can get a mix, that's great. If you have a teacher, right? If you have a teacher, you may not have a teacher. It's fine, of course. Next question then. Next question for you. How often do you practice speaking? How often do you practice speaking? Okay. How often do you practice speaking? Every day, just put a 1. Several times a week, that's maybe 3 or 4 times a week, put 2. If it's only several times a month, like, 3 or 4 times a month, put number 3. Again, just in the chat, write down what you think. Let's see what we've got up here. And again, I'm going to put this up on the screen, not that screen, this screen. Oh, a lot of you are doing every day. That is interesting. Let's have a look. Nurai says 2 several times a week. John Emmanuel, every day. Excellent. Good. Albofaz says every day, which is great. Saeed says several times a month. Okay. But I can see here, Lillian, every day. We've got 62% of you say every day, which seems to be the most popular. Yol, Koryam, every day. Excellent. Good. Renit as well. Mohammed as well. Wow. Wissam, 2 hours a day. Excellent. Well done. Well done. Of course, it depends what you're doing, right? Simona as well. I mean, if you've got a job and you've got children and you're balancing all of that, you probably practice less. It's not good or bad. It's just what it is. The key thing is, if it's important for you, prioritize it and make space to practice. I think a lot of you are practicing for IELTS. So I guess a lot are practicing every day because of that. Yeah, great. On a daily basis, says Lobar. Very nice. Renit says every day for at least 10 minutes. Okay. Roblox, hello, several times a week. Okay, lovely. Nice. No, I don't, sir, because I don't have any partner. But you can practice on your own as well, right? We'll talk about that today. Saeed says 30 minutes per day, but not sure how to practice. Okay. Hopefully today we can help a little bit with that. Okay. Let's see. Brian says, I practice speaking a lot. I play videos with my friends. So I have to speak English to work with them and win. It's a very good way of practicing, Brian. Very, very good way. Yes, it's whatever works for you, right? That sounds like fun and motivating. It's a good way to practice. It's all about practice. Excellent. Nice. Saiful Islam, you're asking about banks in Bangladesh to subscribe. It's more about the credit card. To join the courses, Saiful, you need an international credit card if you want to join the courses. It doesn't matter about the bank, it's the card that's important. So normally Visa, MasterCard, American Express, right? Okay. I don't have a speaking partner. Well, let's have a look at that. Let's have a look together. Okay. So, coming back. So we've got a mixture, right? A mixture of lots of different stuff. Let's see how to practice speaking. Okay, you learn to swim by swimming, right? You can't swim by reading a book. You can't. You know, if somebody gives you a book or even an online course about swimming and you jump in the water, you can't swim. You learn to swim by swimming. You learn to speak by, guys, how do you learn to speak? By, yeah, I guess it's pretty obvious, right? You learn to speak by speaking. But there are many, many ways of speaking. Speaking is not only with other people. It can be speaking to yourself, to the mirror, to your dog. It can be a myriad of different things, right? Exactly. Speaking. It's all about speaking. You learn to speak by speaking. Exactly. Now, let me ask you a question, okay? How do footballers train? You know, like Cristiano Ronaldo, how do footballers train? I mean, what do they do when they're training? Because I think it's similar. I think the way footballers train, professional footballers, and the way we practice speaking, we're all professional English speakers. Well, we are. I mean, we are all becoming more confident English speakers. The way we train is similar to footballers. Now, if you're a football fan, you're going to enjoy this video. If you're not, I apologize. But let's watch a very quick video. And first of all, I want you to tell me, can you tell me, watch this, tell me what these football exercises are, okay? I'm going to show you different exercises and I want you to tell me what they are in English, if you can. Let's see, who are the real football fans out there? And if you don't like football, don't worry, this will make sense very, very soon. Here we go. Let me show you. Football training. What are these exercises? There's 4. Right, let's see the footballers out there. Let's find out. By the way, when I said how do footballers train, you're all right. You're right. You said practicing. A lot of you said practicing a lot. Absolutely, absolutely right. Let's look at how they practice. What do they do? Juggling. Not exactly juggling. Juggling is when you're throwing balls in the air. Passing was in there. Good. Anna, football fan, well done. Warm up, yes. Alexander, oh, brilliant. Passing and dribbling. Interesting. Warm up, you're right. Yes, you're right to an extent. I don't have idea. Slobodanga, you're not a football fan, right? We've got passing. We've got, what have we got? Kicking, yes, more than kicking. Training, yes. Touching the ball, yes. Let's find out. Anybody else know? Crunches, right? Okay, interesting. Wow, Kuso 1, 2, 3. Passing, dribbling, shooting, gym. Wow. I'm impressed. Amon, I'm impressed. Brian, passing the ball with your hands. Red card, yes, except it's training, right? What else? Anybody else know? Stretching, maybe? Yep. Anyone else? Passing, yes, very good. Very, very nice. Passing, dribbling, kicking exercise. Okay, perfect. So let me show you, right? I'll just bring it in over here. The answers there, the different football exercises were passing, dribbling, that was number 2, shooting, and the last one was sit-ups, where you're crunching your abs. I mean, crunches, yes. Abs, yes. Sit-ups, yes. Okay. The point is, there are lots of different exercises. Now, going back to that question, how do footballers train? There are 3 things, right? 3 things that footballers do when they train. And they are repetitions, controlled practice, like passing, shooting, dribbling, and free practice, like a practice game with some of the team, they wear a red shirt, some of the team wear a blue shirt, same team, but they play against each other, right? Repetitions, controlled practice, and this free practice. That's how footballers train, like Cristiano Ronaldo and all of these teams, right? Yes, there's warming, there's stretching, warming up, all of that, absolutely important. But I think we can narrow it down to 3 things. Repetitions of exercises, controlled practice, as you saw, passing again and again, shooting again and again and again, dribbling, heading. And then you've got this free practice. Often the professional teams, they do a mini 5-a-side, right? Because there's 11 on the team. Well, there's 22 on the squad, probably more. So little 5-a-side games to practice all the moves. Now, can you see where I'm going? Can you see the similarity to speaking English? Can you see that? How do English students train? Train, I say, it's almost training. It's the same. Repetitions, controlled practice, and free practice. And you need all of those to become more and more fluent, right? Great. You've got, of course, I liked the idea, some of you said warm up. I think also for speaking, warm up is good. Stretching is also good. If you see some of the pronunciation teachers, like Hadar is a pronunciation teacher, she does stretching of the mouth. And she does all of this stretching exercise, warming up. Stretching, warming up are important, absolutely. But then you've got these core 3 things. We're going to look at these one by one and look at how we can do them and why they are important, right? Okay, I'm just checking in your comments as we go along. Let's take the first one, okay? Repetitions. Now, repetitions for me it's like a gym workout, yeah? It really is. It's like a gym workout where you saw the guys doing the sit-ups, or if they're doing the weights, or if they're doing the, what are those called? The pull-ups or the push-ups. There's all kinds. It's always up, sit up, push up, pull up. Those repetitions, it's like a gym. It is really like a gym. And in English speaking, you're focusing on accuracy. That's why we do them. And that's why they're good. Accuracy of grammar, accuracy of vocabulary also, and pronunciation. And I think, as I said at the start, this is really good to do on your own. Just on your own. In a little room, all on your own. Nobody to speak to. You can have a mirror or just speak to the microphone, speak to your cup. I mean, it doesn't matter. It's just on your own. The basic thing, obviously, listen and repeat. Do you remember at school? I remember at school, we had a French teacher, and he loved doing listen and repeat. Écoutez et répétez. And even the students who were really, really bad at French, when they left school, everybody could say, écoutez et répétez. And I think some students went on holiday to France. They went on holiday to France. And they walk into the restaurant and they go, écoutez et répétez. Because that's all they learned. But that repetition and listening and repeating is something you can do on your own, okay? And it's basic level, but it's focusing on accuracy. You can repeat words, collocations, and phrases, right? And you can do this with your videos on Netflix, with audios, TV series like Friends, if you watch Friends, podcasts, if you listen to them. And as you're listening, all you're doing, you're listening on your own, is pause and repeat a word. Pause and repeat a word. Words that maybe you don't know, words that you think, that's new, words that you think, that's interesting word, and maybe you check it in the dictionary, ooh, that's useful. Press, pause, repeat. Very, very simple, right? But it's the foundation. You're building a house of fluency. Get the foundation, right? Focusing on accuracy. Let me show you a task, right? I want you to watch this student over here, Lena, and she is training with an audio. It's an audio, I think it was an audio about making decisions, right? That was the topic. It was the topic of making decisions, which is another popular IELTS topic, okay? And what she's doing is she's listening, and she's listening to the audio. She stops it, and she repeats the interesting words. Not just words, but collocations, right? Let's watch her and see if you can spot the words she's repeating, okay? And just watch how she does it, okay? Here we go. Let's watch.
Hey, Dad, I just don't know what to do. This job sounds amazing, but it's so far away. What if I regret it? What if I'm making a huge mistake?
A huge mistake.
I get it, love. It's a big decision.
A big decision. A big decision.
And it's normal to feel unsure. But sitting here worrying won't make it any clearer. Have you tried writing a list of pros and cons?
A list?
A list of pros and cons.
You think that'll help?
It might. Sometimes when you put everything down on paper,
Put everything down on paper. Put everything down on paper.
it's easier to see things for what they are. Weigh up the good and the bad and
Weigh up the good and the bad. Weigh up the good and the bad. Weigh up the good and the bad.
then decide if the opportunity is worth the risk.
Worth the risk.
Okay. You see what she's doing, right? She's listening to her audio, pausing and repeating. And if it's difficult, repeat twice or 3 times, again and again and again. Okay. It's so simple, but it's the foundation of learning a language. Some of the things she said, some of you have got. Interesting. Yep. Rishikesh, you're on the ball today. Very, very good. Anna says big decision. Snow, way good and bad. Interesting. Exoxide, is that right? Put everything down on paper. Interesting. Building up the muscles, yes. Worth the risk. Okay, so let's have a look. I'm going to give you just a moment to write some of the things because I can see you're all writing something. Okay. It's all about echoing words. Yes, Roblox, exactly. But you notice when you echo the words, you're getting pronunciation, intonation, really important things, as well as the word, right? The word itself. Interesting. Vanessa, it's different from shadowing. Later, I'll show you shadowing. It's a bit different, yeah? But I'll show you later. Kit, very good. You picked it up. Good, yep. Abraham Malik has got a summary here. Oh, that's great. That is really, really good. Thank you, Abraham Malik. Let me share with you all here. So we had a huge mistake, a big decision, a list of pros and cons, a list of pros and cons. What you'll notice when you listen as well is you'll notice the linking and the connections, right? Like a list of pros and cons. In fact, what she says is this, a list of pros and cons. So you're getting more natural English, the correct pronunciation by linking words as well, right? And the intonation. If you were to just read this off the paper, you might say a list of pros and cons. Not very natural. When you repeat from audio, much, much better. Pros and cons, by the way, are advantages and disadvantages, right? Put everything down on paper just means to write everything down. Weigh up the good and the bad, right? To weigh up is to balance. Malik, thank you. Balance, you weigh up the good and the bad. Here's the good, here's the bad. Let's see, more good than bad. Weigh up, weigh up. And she repeats that a lot because she can hear the weigh up, weigh up, weigh up the good and the bad. Weigh up the good and the bad. Weigh up the good and the bad. And you're getting the intonation. Worth the risk. So do notice, right, the intonation when you're doing this and you're learning all these skills together. Okay, excellent. Lucia says, I do that. When watching a film, I listen to an interesting expression. Perfect. And if you're alone, just repeat it. Say it out loud because actually pronouncing it really also helps. Yeah. Okay. Now, Yothan, you're right. You can do this for collocations, idioms, noun phrases. So not just one word, but notice you're doing it for collocations and phrases. Now, somebody mentioned shadowing, and I would say, yes, shadowing is the next one. Shadowing is very similar. It's with short audio extracts, I would say up to 30 seconds. How to shadow. So shadow, you listen, you don't pause the audio, and you try to repeat just 1 second behind the speaker. And this is really good for intonation, building vocabulary for sure, and pronunciation. Generally speaking, pronunciation and thinking as well. So in the repetition, you'll stop and you repeat. This one, you don't stop. You play the audio and you try and repeat at the same time or just 1 second behind the speaker. Almost at the same time. Or just 1 second behind. Almost at the same time as, or just 1 second behind the speaker. That's shadowing, okay? Now, I'm sure some of you have done this. Let's see. I'm going to show you. Let me shadow that one thing that we just heard. So the audio that the girl was doing with earlier when she was repeating, I'm going to show you that shadowing, right? Let's try. Okay. Here we go. Got to listen very carefully.
Hey, Dad, I just don't know what to do.
Just don't know what to do.
This job sounds amazing, but it's so far away.
But it's so far away.
What if I regret it?
What if I regret it?
What if I'm making a huge mistake?
What if I'm making a huge mistake?
It's a big decision.
It's a big
decision.
decision.
And it's normal to feel unsure.
And it's normal to feel unsure.
But sitting here worrying won't make it any clearer. Have you tried writing a list of pros and cons?
A list? You think that'll help?
I think that'll
It
help.
might. Sometimes when you-
Okay, you get it? So it goes on and on and on, and you're a second behind, but you're picking up the same intonation. I would recommend doing it 2 or 3 times to get better and better at it. And then you can go back, and if you've got the tape script, you can check if you're getting it. It's a really good activity. Now, you may be thinking, well, that's easy because it's English and I'm English. That's true. But I do this also in French. I don't do it in Spanish, but I've been practicing French lately and I've done it in French. So I'm going to show you in French. Oh dear. Let me show you something I found in French, and I'm going to repeat and I'm going to shadow in French. Are you ready? Let's try.
La vie est une série de
La vie
choix.
est une série de choix.
Certaines décisions sont
Certaines
simples
décisions
à se la prendre,
sont simples,
comme choisir un resto
comme
ou
choisir
la
un resto.
destination d'un voyage.
Un destin voyage.
D'autres sont plus complexes,
D'autres sont plus
accepter ou
complexes.
refuser un emploi,
Accepter ou
avoir un
refuser
enfant
emploi,
ou pas, déménager ou non dans une autre
déménager
ville.
ou non dans une autre.
Il est alors normal de
Il est
ressentir
alors
de
normal
l'incertitude.
d'étude.
Comment choisir
Comment
ce qui est
choisir
le mieux pour nous dans ces
Le
moments-là?
mieux pour nous dans ce moment-là.
Voici une façon de nous y
Voici
aider.
la façon. Right? Now, I get some bits, but I don't get other bits. But that's fine, because I do it again and again and again. And then later, I'll check the writing and see. Very, very interesting, right? Interesting. Can we slow down the speed in shadowing? Yes, you can. Yes. Especially nowadays on YouTube, you can slow down. It's also a good idea. Slow down and speed up. I'm doing that without knowing it's a method of shadowing. Right. Good student. Exactly. Good. Hossein, I agree with you, actually. Yes. Pas mal, says Marjo. Pas mal. You found funny. I do, yes. Your Francis, well, it's okay. It's okay. Très bien. Merci, monsieur. Merci. But that's just to show you shadowing, right? Okay. So we've been looking at here repetitions. Repetitions. So we got 3 things, right? Repetitions. That was number 1. Let's look at number 2, more controlled practice. Repetitions you can do on your own. Controlled practice you can also do on your own, right? You don't need anybody. You can do it on your own. Controlled practice, for example, is to change one word. If I'm learning vocabulary or a sentence, then I just change one word. For example, let's imagine we're talking about the topic of routines, right? Or you've been studying routines, or you've been watching a live lesson with Keith about routines, and let's do this together. Actually, this will be really good. We'll do it together. I'll say a sentence. I'll tell you what to do, and you just speak out. Do what I tell you, right? For example, the first one, right? This is the phrase. I get up at 6 o'clock. First of all, just repeat with me. I get up at 6 o'clock. Now change 6 for 7. I get up at 7 o'clock. Okay, perfect. Now change 6 for 9. I get up at 9 o'clock. Add the word usually. I usually get up at 6 o'clock. Add the phrase now and then. Now and then. You should say, I get up at 6 o'clock now and then. Goes at the end, right? Because it's not one word, it's several words. Add the word never. I never get up at 6 o'clock, right? Now, in this phrase, I get up at 6 o'clock, change I to she. She gets up at 6 o'clock. You can link, right? She gets up at 6 o'clock. Put that phrase put this phrase in the negative. I don't get up at 6 o'clock. Change that negative to she. She doesn't get up at 6 o'clock. Okay. Put that in the past tense. You should say, she didn't get up at 6 o'clock. Okay? Okay, so all of that we're doing, we're just changing. Here are my notes, right? We're changing 7 o'clock. You can add usually, add now and then. Changing the person, putting negatives, putting in the past. You're changing all of these things. But here's the thing. I'm doing it with you today. And in my gold course, we have lots of videos like this where I give you instructions, you try, and then I give you the answer. And it's very controlled practice. But you can do this on your own. You can do this on your own. Whenever you discover a new phrase or a new vocabulary, just change the person, make it negative, change the tense, add adverbs, add adjectives, just change stuff and practice that kind of speaking. It's called controlled practice. And it's really, really good, right? I mean, adding adverbs, for example, I usually get up at 6 o'clock. I never get up at 6 o'clock. With verbs, you can change the tense. You can make negatives. I get up at 6 o'clock. I got up at 6 o'clock. I didn't get up at 6 o'clock. I will. Okay? And you're just practicing. And it's so simple, but it is really, really powerful because you're recycling the grammar, you're practicing pronunciation, you're practicing the phrases, and this is learning it. Rather than trying to memorize words, this practice cycle is getting the word into your longer term memory. And when you come to speak it, it's much easier because your practice was actually speaking, not reading. So it does help your fluency as well. Okay, let's have a look. Yeah. I mean, this is something I do in the gold course a lot in the videos, but let's have a look. We're going to watch the student, Lena, again. Let's watch her practicing this. You can see how she does it. Let's have a look. This is on her own, right?
I usually get up at 6 o'clock. I never get up at 5 o'clock. I get up at 6 o'clock. I got up at 6 o'clock. I didn't get up at 6 o'clock. I will get up at 6 o'clock.
It is easy, but that's the point. It needs to be easy because it's controlled practice. Okay, Benita, like me, I'm learning it. Great. Latifa, how many languages do you know? Oh, a few. But, and this is interesting, this is the method I used from beginner to intermediate for French and for Spanish and for Chinese, actually, all of those. It's exactly the same method I've used. That's why I use it, yes. I wake up, I raise up, I wake up, I get up, yes. Bashir, thank you very much for that, yes. She doesn't get up at 6 o'clock. Perfect. You've got it. Yes. Excellent. And I mean, if you've got a higher level, I think Roblox has a higher level, you can change more words. I'm showing you very simple examples, but you can say, I got into the habit of getting out of bed at 6 o'clock. You can change more words depending on your level. I'm just showing you a very, very simple level. Yeah. Okay. Nice. Good. In addition, you can add, so we talked about adding adverbs with verbs. You can make it more complicated. I've got another example with adding adjectives. Okay. Again, this is a very simple example because I don't know your level, guys, but let's watch, this is task number 4. Let's watch the student training again. Can you tell me which adjectives she adds. Just write in the chat, which adjectives does she add? Let's do it.
I had breakfast. I had a big breakfast. I had a hearty breakfast.
Get it? Which adjectives does she add? I'll give you a minute if you want to write your answer. And let me just get a drink. Janet, lovely to see you practicing. Roblox, more Spanish coming, yes. Shabai, thank you so. Oh, great. Big and hardy. Hardy? Hardy, big. Hardy. Marjo. I think the American accent is confusing you. Not the American accent, but the Hardy. Miranda, good. Yeah, good. Oh, Ekaterina, heavy? Okay, the answer is what Idris Eman says. Okay, big and hearty. The answer was actually that. It was, I had a big breakfast. I had breakfast. I had a big breakfast. I had a hearty breakfast. Hardy, hearty. Depends on your accent, right? Hearty breakfast. So you can add anything. You can change it. You can make it more complicated. It's so simple to do. And this is controlled practice. So number one, repetition, you can do on your own. Number two, controlled practice, you can do on your own, actually, right? Number three, do you remember number three? Is free practice. Free practice is not so much about accuracy. It's less about, let's spell properly, about accuracy, and more about fluency and communication. And let's say, I'll call it experimenting, right? Free practice. It's less about accuracy, more about fluency. The thing that's important when you come to free practice, don't expect to be able to use the words you've just learned. You've just done some control practice and you've learned big breakfast, hearty breakfast, and then you have a conversation and you forget the word. You can't use the word. That is normal. You probably won't be able to use those words straight away. So don't worry about that, because a lot of students get nervous. They go, oh no, I've just learned these words and in conversation I can't use them. Of course you can't, because the learning is not a line. The learning is like this. It's all over the place. I don't know what happens in our heads, but it's crazy. So it takes time. So the free practice, focus on your communication, your fluency. Okay. How do you do free practice? Well, there are two options: with people or with machines, right? With people or with AI, basically. People can be, well, let's have a look, right? I mean, you can have free conversations or you can talk about a specific topic. Again, in the gold course, the online gold course that we have in the Keith Speaking Academy, we have different topics In our live lessons, we talk about different topics. Then on Friday, we have a Zoom meeting where students in breakout rooms practice talking about that topic. So they're talking about a specific topic. On Wednesdays, it's kind of a free day. It's a free conversation. You can talk about anything. So I think it's important to do both. You can talk to classmates. You can do that face-to-face or online. You can find a speaking partner and speak to them online. Again, in our Gold Interactive course, we have breakout rooms. You can chat and speak to students across the world. So it's easy to find people to do that. You can talk to AI software. If you like technology, I think this is amazing and I use it also. I don't only use that. I think you need people and technology. You need both, right? It's a bit like a marriage. People and technology together. If you only use AI, you're going to find conversations difficult with people, right? So do both. Classmates, speaking partners, teachers. You can speak to teachers as well, of course. AI software, I mean, some that I've looked and tried. Speak, you can try. Just look it up in Google and find the Speak software. It's not bad. I tried it for Spanish and it didn't really suit me. It didn't get the right level. I think it was maybe better for lower levels. It wasn't right for me. Small talk to me is one that is good and a number of my students have tried. It gives them feedback, which is very interesting. I've seen the feedback and it looks very, very good. It does IELTS mock tests, so it can give you a level. But a word of warning, when AI does an IELTS mock test, don't trust the score 100%. It may not be 100% accurate. AI are not trained examiners. So they may get the right level, more or less, but don't take it as gospel, right? It's not necessarily the right level. It's just an approximation. So be careful with that, yeah? Elsa Speak is fantastic. If you don't know it, go and check it out. It's really good. And it does lots of topics, lots of AI. It's a pronunciation app, so it gives you lots of feedback on pronunciation. It is American pronunciation, but for 90% of the students, it doesn't matter. It's just English pronunciation. You can try ChatGPT. It has an agent called Mia Life, which I've used, which I enjoy. As a higher level, I use it in French, and it's really interesting and good. You can try Replica. They have avatars that speak to you, which are also quite interesting. So you can try that. ChatGPT, I think, for me, is the best. It really is. Let me just come back to your questions. There's quite a few questions. Lafita, Lafita, getting into breakout rooms. Yeah, Roblox, join the breakout rooms. Without a partner, somehow, so you need to do free practice. You need somebody to practice with. You can find speaking partners online. There are lots of communities you can find. Does italki help? Yes, because you can find a teacher and you can practice with a teacher. Is good. Small talk to me, Nurul. Is it free? Most of these have a free option and a paid for option. So most of them you can try for free and then you have to pay. Yes. Take what AI says with a pinch of salt. Correct? Yes. It's not always accurate. But, well, let's try it, right? AI, because I use ChatGPT. Let's have a go. I'm going to show you how this might work and how I would use it, right? As an IELTS student. So I've got ChatGPT in there. I do use the paid for version, but I think this is also on the free version. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell it what I want it to do, and let's see how it goes. Hello.
Hi there, how are you today?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. I'd like to practice English.
Of course. What topic would you like to practice today?
Well, I'm going to tell you what I want you to do. I'm going to give you 3 questions. I want you to ask me the questions, let me answer, and then give me feedback on any mistakes I make. Is that okay?
Sure, that sounds great. Let's start. What's the first question?
The first question is, how often do you cook?
How often do you cook?
I cooks every day. I like cooking because I find it very therapeutic.
That's great. Just a couple of small corrections. It should be I cook every day and therapeutic. So you can say I cook every day. I like cooking because I find it very therapeutic. Great job.
I cook every day and therapeutic, right?
Exactly. Well done. What's the next question?
Did you cook as a child?
Did you cook as a child?
Yes, I did. I were in the kitchen a lot with my mother. She showed me many recipes to cook and I cook a lot with her.
Nice. Just a few corrections. It should be I was in the kitchen a lot with my mother and she showed me many recipes. So you can say, yes, I did. I was in the kitchen a lot with my mother. She showed me many recipes and I cooked a lot with her. Great job.
So I should use the past. Cooked, was, and showed. Is that right?
Exactly. Using the past tense for those actions is correct. Great job. Do you have another question?
I think we'll finish there. Thank you.
You're welcome. If you need more practice,
Great job. Such an encouraging teacher, right? The great thing as well with ChatGPT is you get the whole script, right? So I can go back and read and check everything on there. The key for me is you've got to tell it what you want it to do and it'll do it, right? Okay, great. One more thing. We're talking here about free practice. The other thing you can do with free practice, you can do it on your own. And I also do this. And this is with yourself, right? So I said, talk to classmates, speaking partners, AI. Let me add up here also yourself. You can record yourself. You can record yourself doing audio diary or video diary because this also is free practice. You can do it on your own. So you don't need a person to do this one. Audio diaries are very simple to do. I mean, what I do is I follow this, making an audio diary. I choose a time to do it. If I do it in the morning, I'm going to be talking about the future. Today, I'm going to do this. I will do that. I might do this. If I do it in the evening, I'll be using the past. I went to work. I had lunch. So you can choose. You could do it at lunchtime and do past and future. Thumbs up. You can use your agenda to help you if you want. Mine is over here somewhere. Oh, so much rubbish on my desk. What's going on? So if you have like an agenda of what's going to be doing every day, it can help you. You can read through that. If you don't know a word, then just say it in your language, right? You're saying, well, I get up at 6 o'clock and then I brush my les dents. And then if you don't know it, just say it in your own language. Record yourself and then you can look up the missing words. You can go and see, les dents. Comment tu dis dents en anglais? Teeth. Right, brush my teeth. So you can look up the missing words, notice mistakes. You can listen back and then you can correct yourself. You can fill in the missing words and do it correctly. And if you like, record a second version. It takes me, I try to do this before lunch most days for 10 minutes to practice my French. And it's helping a lot. I've got all these audio files. And sometimes when I'm walking around, relaxing, I just listen back to the audio file. It's all recycling the language. So that's it. That's it. Gosh, that's it. We've had all three, right? I've been through there. Repetitions, control practice, free practice. You can do them all on your own. If you can do free practice with people, that's much better. If you can combine everything, that's the secret, right? The combination of everything you can do. Free practice with other people. You can find classmates, find speaking partners online, join a community, join a course. I've got on the Keith Speaking Academy, there's a course that does that, the interactive course or the gold course, the full course. You can do that there. So I'm coming towards the end as we come to our hour, winding up. Here we've got it. So Key Speaking Academy website, we've looked at how to practice speaking. I hope you've got some ideas that can help you there. If you have any questions, I will have a look and try and answer. Snow says, my IELTS teacher is an American. Should I practice British accents? It doesn't matter. You can practice both. Practice American with your teacher. You can speak British or American. You can mix your accents. It doesn't matter in speaking. Don't worry too much about the accent. Yeah. Do you recommend PI? I don't know PI. Not sure which one that is. So I don't recommend it. I don't know it. Anything else? May says, AI gives me 7 in speaking. It may be accurate. It may not be. Just be careful, May, that it could be right, but it might be a bit above or a bit below. Thirst for learning. Isn't it boring to practice with AI? For 10 minutes a day? It's okay. It's interesting. For me, it's fun. But I also need to speak to people. And I need to practice with my videos for French on my own as well. So I think you need a combination. Is it a free version of ChatGPT? Anarita, I'm not sure. I am using ChatGPT 4.0. It might be paid for. I'm not sure. Zizivar just joined a few minutes ago after the breakout rooms. Oh, you've been on the breakout rooms. Zizivar is on the gold course. We have breakout rooms every day. I hope they went well for you today. That was ChatGPT, that app. Thank you for the lesson, Christina. Lovely to see you here. Idris, can I participate in the academy by paying via direct transfer? No, I'm afraid it's only credit card or PayPal, right? Payment for courses, I'll write this down, is PayPal, absolutely, or international credit card. Or international credit card, yeah. I'll show you. It's basically, if you do go into the online courses, the gold courses, if you did... So there are 3 courses, right? There's the exam strategy, self-study, which is self-study is all that practice examples I did with repetition and controlled practice. The interactive is where you do the speaking practice rooms. We have the live lessons, etc. The gold is all of them, is all 3 of them. And in the gold course, if you join, 45% off, this is where when you click on there, it'll ask you, sometimes it's a bit slow. Be patient, my friend. Actually, I'm logged in, but it'll show you here. You can choose PayPal or you can choose your card. So the most common are Visa, MasterCard, American Express, and Discover, right? You just fill in the information and then you subscribe. With the full course, it's $157 a year. $157 a year, okay? It's 1 year access. The interactive is the one that has the 1 year access. The gold self-study, you get lifetime, and the exam strategy, you get lifetime as well. Okay, just to let you know. Lamine, merci beaucoup. C'est pas parfait, mais pas mal. Let's see, other questions. What is... I'm taking IELTS Academic. Do I need to use formal language in speaking? No. No. Formal language in writing. In speaking, conversational English. Not formal English. No. What's the best way to collect vocabularies? When you're reading and when you're listening, make a note. Where you make a note is up to you. I'm old school. I write it down in my book. But if you like using the app or the flashcard apps, I used to use Duo cards. You know Duo cards, that one? So when I discover a new word, you can open a flashcard. It connects to the dictionary and you can store the words in here. Then you can recycle them. It depends on your style, Roblox, really, what style you like. Do the English fully understand American films? Yes. 99.9%. There may be one or two unusual expressions, but mostly yes. Daniela, waiting for you tomorrow on the Gold course. Yes, tomorrow we have a live lesson. So excited. All about countrysides, right? For the Gold course students. Yes. Karina, thank you very much. Great to hear that. ChatGPT lady is so nice and polite. Yes. Any other questions? I'm just seeing through anything else before we finish up. I want to ask you, do you have any idea about the Duolingo English test? I'm afraid I don't know much about it. I know it's quite popular, but I don't know much about it. Amaryllis, I want to know about the Crack Part 2 course. I'm enrolled in the Gold course. Right, the Crack Part 2 course is hidden at the moment, but if you're interested, I can send you a link. It's a paid-for course. It's a very cheap course. There's a link in the Crack Part 1 course. So there's a free course, and I don't know if you all know this, but there is a free course. Let me show you. If you go to the website, go to the tips, go to any tip, and scroll to the bottom, and you will be able to see, I think, not this one. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Yeah, there's a link to the Crack IELTS Part 1 course. It's a free course. I think it's good. It's got some very, very good feedback. You can join that. And in there is a link. There is a link to the Part 2 course as well. Bit complex, I know. But be patient, Amaryllis. Thank you. Would the AI be better than talking to non-native speakers? No, not better. It's just different. Just different. What about a Gold course in Spanish? Holy moly, I'm too busy, Marjo. But thanks for the suggestion. Okay. Sharif, can I enroll in your course? Of course you can. Yes, you can. Anybody can join. Just need the credit card or the PayPal and you can join. I think there's only 1 or 2 countries that have internet block, which make it quite difficult. Iran is quite difficult if you're in Iran. Syria is quite difficult. China is quite difficult, but there are ways around it. I'll leave it at that. Guys, I'm going to finish up here. I've gone a little bit over time. I was trying to keep it down to 1 hour, but I hope this was useful. I hope that you found some interesting information about, ways to practice speaking. Thank you so much for joining me and for coming here today. I'm going to leave you with a bit of that country music again. Let's finish up. Thank you so much. And, before I forget, there is another live session this Friday. This Friday, 12 p.m. Spain time, I'm doing learning idioms. It's an advanced lesson. For those of you trying to get IELTS 7.5 or 8, it's an advanced lesson on learning idioms. Everyone is welcome. It's on YouTube. You'll see that later. It will come up. So there you've got it. Thank you so much for joining, everybody, and I'll see you very, very soon. Take care now.
Step right in, this live session's calling. We've got resources and ideas for you. Find inspiration while we're learning. Keep Speaking Academy's here to see you through. It's time to learn. It's time
Thank
to
you.
grow. Join the journey, let your
Welcome,
English
Vanessa.
flow. It's time to learn.
Great.
It's time to grow.
Check out the
Join
website.
the journey, let your English flow.
See you tomorrow, Slobodanka, in the Gold Live lesson. Bye-bye, everybody. Take care. All the best.